Once you're in your comfortable seat, start to close down your eyes or soften your gaze. Draw the spine long and drop your shoulders down. And begin to notice from here what feelings are present. Those feelings might be emotions. They might be physical sensations. You may notice if there is ease in the breath or tension somewhere in your body. And let's bring our hands to our chest. One hand might kind of rest on one side of the chest, the other on the other side, just so we have a nice wide space that we have contact with, just below the collarbones. And start to breathe into this space, allowing breath to gather behind the breastplate, filling the upper back as well. Pausing on full, and then complete exhale through your nose. 2 more rounds here. Inhaling behind the breastplate and upper back. Exhaling to completely empty the breath. Another full round at your pace. And then sliding hands down to ribs, the bottom ribs on either side. If it's comfortable, setting hands on the sides of the rib cage. If that doesn't feel good on the shoulders, you can wrap your arms around your ribs. Opposite hand reaches across, whichever works for you. Good, either way, we're focusing breath now in the ribs. So inhale to widen ribs apart. Front to back, side to side, pause on full. And then really squeezing this area to exhale all breath out. Feel the hands drawing in towards spine, towards center. Inhaling to expand. Maximum expansion with breath, and exhale, draw in. Good, another round with your breath. Notice where the movement happens in the ribs. And finally, moving down to belly. Placing hands comfortably around the belly button. And from this area, start to expand the belly like a balloon as you inhale. Even the lower back expands. Pause and exhale. Contract this area, draw in. Squeezing air out with the muscles. Good, twice more. Releasing your hands will combine all 3 parts. Inhale to belly, then into the ribs. Keep inhaling into your chest. Pause on full, and then sigh it out. Twice more. Inhale belly, inhale ribs, inhale chest. Pause, sigh it out. Squeeze all the air out before once again, inhale belly, inhale ribs, inhale chest. Pause, maybe take another sip, biggest breath of your day so far. Drop your shoulders, hold the air in, and then powerfully with sound through your mouth, the natural breaths in and out through your nose without any effort. Again, noticing feelings. And we'll bring our palms to touch. Continuing our practice with the sound of Om. We can't hear each other, so you'll have to hear me, but our collaborative Om will be heard in space. That's our goal here. So inhaling deep, complete exhale, and inhale to chant. Breathe it in. Let it go. Honoring ourselves and each other, we begin with Namaste. Namaste. Good, releasing your hands. We'll come into child's pose. So if you know that your knees are not very happy in child's pose, you can do one of two things. Place a blanket under the knees can be helpful. If that still just doesn't work for you, you can just choose to sit up in a chair or just sit up in seated, and legs can take any position. So once you're in child's pose, knees can be wide to start. Extend your arms and allow your torso to melt forward. Okay, taking a few breaths here. Again, filling the belly, filling the ribs and the chest with air, and sighing it out. One more round. From child's pose, lift your gaze, recruit your abdominals, imagine the front ribs drawing toward back body, press the tops of your feet down, and start to trace a big arch like a rainbow. Kind of like twisting and side bending to the left and right. Allowing your hands to graze the earth, and a lot of this control comes from pressing the feet down, curling the tailbone, and keeping a strong core and belly. Good. Switching our shape with our hands, we're going to make a big circle out in front of us. So leaning forward to extend, coming back, leaning back. Keep the fingers grazing the earth, and then switch directions of your circle. One of my teachers said this is a great way to clean the floor. The next shape is we make a figure eight or infinity sign, like horizontal figure eights. Recruit that core, switch directions of your shape. We're just tracing shapes on the floor. And if you're sitting on a chair, you could just trace a shape out in space, leaning over a little bit. And then figure eight vertically. So drawing the number 8. And then switch directions of how you trace that number. Press your feet down, front ribs draw to back body. Okay, come on to hands and knees. And then extend one leg back, get off that knee. You can come pretty high and then switch sides. Good, you can continue this. You might decide to do kind of cat-cow in the spine, maybe even bring knee to nose. Inhaling to extend your leg, drop your belly, and exhale around your back, knee to nose. Good options here. If just sending your leg up and back is plenty of work, then you can skip that knee to nose part. Making sure you're switching sides. Take a couple more rounds each direction. Evening out both sides. Hands walk just a touch further in front of the shoulders. Curl your toes under and lift for down dog. Just a few breaths here, pedaling out your feet, shaking your head no. Dropping shoulders out of ears and keeping abdominal support. Front ribs draw toward back body. We're going to walk our hands toward our feet to find our forward fold, if that's available. If not, come to your standing forward fold, whatever way makes sense to you. Good, ragdoll, maybe interlace the forearms, bend your knees deeply and rest your torso on your thighs. Really important here, let your head relax. Good, any little movements, swaying side to side, shaking or nodding your head. Keep the breath deep in the belly. Full exhales. And biggest breath yet, inhale deep. Pause on full, sip the air in and through your mouth. Draw your front ribs back, squeeze the belly in and roll up to standing. Scoot this back so you can see me a little better. Remove anything that might be on your mat. Slide it out of the way. And widen your feet a little bit. Nice buoyancy and bend in the knees. Interlace your fingers and bring them behind the back of your head. Good. Press your head into your hands. Bend your knees deeply. And then lift through the center of your chest. Good. Notice if there's a really big back bend in the lower back, and try and flatten the lower back and instead bend from the upper back. Big inhale, full exhale. Straighten your legs, keep your fingers interlaced. Press your head into your hands and start to twist. Turning to left and right, you can allow the opposite heel to lift and the foot to twist. And initiate your twist with your elbow drawing back and your opposite rib cage spiraling forward. You might choose to add a breath here, inhaling left, exhale right, maybe speed it up. Five more seconds. Inhale to center, reach through the center of your chest, little back bend, and exhale, release your hands and roll your shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Good, some dynamic movement here, a little lunging. So hands can be at the hips, and step one foot forward. Doesn't have to be a lot, bend that front knee. Really push off that front foot to step back to your standing position. Opposite foot steps forward, bend that knee, bend both knees. Push off your front foot to come back to stand. Good, keep going. Switch sides, bend both knees. Push the front foot to step back. And you can take this to any depth that feels appropriate today. For more challenge, you bend your knees, maybe that back knee hits the earth, raise all the way back up. We'll take two more, both sides. Even out both sides. Step back to standing position, release your hands, take a couple breaths. Notice feeling, sensation. Good, then step your right leg forward. Good, nice long stance. Plant your back heel, warrior one. So make sure that your feet, instead of being on a tightrope, are more on railroad tracks. So separating the feet left to right. Bend your front knee. Good, facing torso forward over the front thigh or a little bit to the left inside. Big elbow circles. Good, spread the fingers wide and trace big circles in space. Regaining some control over breath. Gentle constriction in the back of the throat for your Ujjayi breath. Good, last big circle. And we'll inhale, reach both arms up, separate the palms, and then bring the palms down to face the earth and reach your arms back. Nice straight arms, palms behind you like you're pressing a wall behind your body. Bend deeply into your front thigh, your front knee. Press both feet down powerfully. Roll your shoulders up and back and draw your waistline back in space, ribs back. Good, shoulders back. Lift through the center of your chest. Chin stays parallel with the earth. 2 more deep breaths. Really straightening arms and pressing the palms behind you. 1 more breath. And flip your palms forward. Inhale, gather space. Exhale, fold over your extended front leg. Start to straighten that leg for pyramid stretch. So this is a great time for blocks if you have them underhand. Good, if the earth is feeling far away. You might like to bend and straighten that front leg if the hamstring stretch is feeling intense this morning. And next we'll go for our twist. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Good, push into that hip and send it down and back. So the outer thigh spirals down and the hip draws back toward the wall behind you. Roll both shoulders away from your ears. Get light on your left hand and peel right shoulder open, maybe face toward the right. Good, last thing to lift would be your top arm if available. That hand can always stay to your right hip. 3 more breaths. Push into both heels. Draw your front ribs toward your back body. Drop shoulders out of ears and plug the chin in toward your throat. Take an inhale. Exhale, gaze forward and down. Bend your both knees, drop your back knee, tabletop pose. And cat-cow. Inhale to drop your belly, and exhale, round your back. And a couple more rounds of that. Good, we'll continue cat-cow and extend your right leg out to the side. So right foot is about in line with the right hip, extending the right leg out to the side. Really press that right foot down into the earth and inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back. Couple more times. Noticing sensation at the inner thigh, the groin muscles. And then pause with a neutral spine and think about just your rib cage, front to back, side to side. We're going to draw a circle in space with the front 2 ribs. Barrel rolls, choose a direction. Keep pressing both feet down into the earth. Good. Tracing a circle with the front two ribs, change directions. And pause, neutral spine, send your hips back towards your heel, and then forward towards your wrists. Good. Sitting back, kind of think like half fire toes. And then coming forward, think like a plank pose with your knee down. Good. Your right toes might spiral up toward the ceiling as you reach the hips back. 2 more rounds, pausing anywhere that feels good. And when you're ready, both knees meet. Send your hips from side to side. And we'll come all the way onto belly, lowering down your way. Good. Hands about the level of the lowest ribs. Tent your fingers to the outside of your mat. So widen your hands, widen your feet, and press your toes down powerfully. Forehead to the earth. Dancing cobra. So it's like alternately shrugging each shoulder to rise up. As you inhale, alternately shrug the shoulders up, back, and down, up, back, and down. And exhale, keep shrugging the shoulders to lower down. Just getting a lot of movement at the upper body. You might sway side to side. Kind of think of a cobra in a little basket. Rising out of the basket and then lowering back down. Take about 3 more rounds. On an exhale, find the earth, relax your body, take a full breath. Good, come back to downward facing dog when you're ready. Just for a couple of breaths, in and out. Then again, walk your hands towards your feet. Little bend in the knees. Come to your forward fold, take a full breath. And then inhale, halfway lift, bend your knees, hands to your hips, elbows back. Exhale, squeeze the belly root to rise. Come all the way up. Inhale, gather space, arms reach up, palms touch. And exhale, hands to your heart. Take a full inhale. And full exhale. So we're going to do a little wrist prep here. I'm approaching the screen so that I could show you a little better. We separate the fingers and start to roll the wrists around each other. So making contact with every corner of your wrist with the other wrist. Kind of like a flower blossoming in and then out. Elbows and upper arms might move as much as needed to create this movement. And notice what it feels like to try and just move from the hands, barely any movement in the rest of the body. And then start to explore, kind of exaggerate movement in the rest of your body, shoulders, arms. Start to send that kind of prayer flower out in every direction. Gonna bring it really high, maybe up over your head, maybe behind your head. Keep the movement. Maybe down low, down to one side and the other. And without thinking too much, switch directions. And you might get the rest of your body really involved. And last little challenge here is watch your hands wherever they go. Kind of keep your eyes kind of looking at this shape that hands are making. And come back to center, back to standing, palms down next to you, Tadasana. Take 2 breaths. We'll find warrior 1 on the opposite side. So for most of us, that's left foot steps forward. Nice wide-legged stance here, back heel down, back toes at a diagonal about 45 degrees. Or to square your rib cage toward the front of your mat, and big elbow circles once again. Good, looking for that maximum range of motion, a big rotation in the shoulder joints. One more big circle. And then inhale, reach your arms up, palms turn down. As you exhale, extend your arms back like you're pressing palms behind you. Press down through both heels. Draw your waistline back in space. Pubic bone and belly button closer together, ribs down. Roll your shoulders back. Chin is parallel to the earth and reach the palms further behind you. Two more breaths. Turn your palms in and forward, and inhale, gather space, reach up. Good, pyramid stretch. Exhale, hands frame your front foot. Start to extend through your front leg, maybe pulse, bending and extending. Blocks if your shoulders are really rolling up and forward because the earth is far away. We want the shoulders to be able to roll back, the ribs to draw back, and the chest to reach toward the toes. If it feels good, find stillness in your stretch. 2 breaths. And then left hand to left hip. Good, let's find our twist, extending both hips back, especially that left hip as the chest draws forward. Bottom 2 ribs up and in, light on the right hand, both heels press down. Peel the left shoulder open to face toward the left. Maybe left arm extends up. 2 more deep breaths. Really strong legs here, strong core. Gaze where it's comfortable for your neck. And as you exhale, gaze forward and down, hands down. Bend both knees, lift your back heel, and tabletop back knee down. Left knee meets the right. And send your hips side to side. Good, this time extend your left leg out to the side. Full spread every toe on the left foot. Press that foot down, press your right foot down, and inhale, cow pose. Drop your belly, reach your chest forward. Exhale, press the earth away with hands and feet round your back. A few more times, exploring sensation in your left thigh. Pause at neutral spine. And again, barrel rolls. So front 2 ribs start to trace a circle in space. That circle is like perpendicular to the mat. Switch directions. Neutral spine, sit hips back toward right heel. Maybe the left toes point up. And then reach the chest forward over the hands. This movement can be as big or small as feels good in your body. However far into this pose or in and out you're moving, keep the core engaged and keep your feet pressing down as much as your hands. Good. 2 more rounds, pausing wherever feels good. Come back to neutral, left knee meets the right, and lower all the way down to belly. Once you're there, take a few breaths and rest. You might cradle your head with your hands, forehead on top of stacked hands or forearms. And start to pay attention to your legs. Bring your attention to your right leg, top of the foot on the mat, and reach out through your right toes. Really reach so much, straightening that leg so much that the leg starts to lift off the earth. Good. Fire up your glutes on the right side. Reach out through your toes and lift through the inside of your right thigh. Lower the outside of your right thigh. One more breath. And then lower your right foot to the earth. Shake your hips side to side. Other side. Extend through left toes. Feel your kneecap lift, quads engage. Reach, reach, reach so much that that foot starts to lift off the earth. Left glutes engage. Reach through your toes and lift through inner thigh. Spiral down through outer thigh. One more breath. Drop that left leg and shake your hips. Good. Focusing on the upper body now. Prone pose, extend your arms out in front of you. Relax your forehead to start. The tops of your feet press down. Pubic bone presses down. Feel your core engage. And on an inhale, lift your arms, lift your upper body. And just like we did on the floor at the very beginning, trace a big arc like a rainbow, side to side, left to right. Hands can be separated, like you're tracing an arc. Good. Press your feet down, pubic bone down, and then trace a circle. Hands again can be separated. Each hand can trace a circle in space. And then switch directions. Tuck your chin slightly in. Next, figure eights. So sideways like infinity sign, hands separated, tracing their own figure eight. And make it as big as you possibly can. Next, figure eight vertically, like the number 8 in space. You go the other direction, tracing your 8 almost there. And then drop your hands under your shoulders, press back, child's pose or down dog, your choice. From either position, feel breath expand the upper back. And feel your exhale root your body down toward the earth. We'll meet in a forward fold. If you're in down dog, walk your hands back toward your feet. Good. On an inhale, take your time to get there. Halfway lift, spine is long. Bend your knees as you exhale, hands to your hips, elbows back, root to rise, stand up. Good, release your hands, take a breath. Good, warrior one, right foot steps forward, plant your back heel at a diagonal, and bend through your front knee. I'm gonna approach you so that you see what I'm doing with my hands. We're gonna reach the arms up, kind of at a diagonal from the earth, palms touch, and then bring your chin parallel to the earth. So we're not lifting or lowering, chin is parallel, nice neutral head, but bring just your gaze at your thumbs and bring your thumbs high enough that your gaze is just at its apex. So you're really looking up and in at your thumbs. Good, from there, our whole effort is to gaze at the right thumb and then open the right hand out without turning our head. Keep your gaze on your thumb. Go to your peripheral vision and then come back. Keep the gaze steady on your thumb, switch sides. Gaze at your left thumb. Keep your head where it is. Open your hand to the left. Keep your gaze on your left thumb. Good, coming back to center. Head is in neutral, stays steady, gaze at right thumb. Open right hand, keep your gaze on that right thumb as it moves, and come back. Good, go to the other side. We're gonna do 3 total each side. This is training our vision, our vestibular system, which has a lot to do with our balance, a lot to do with coordination. Good, take a breath in. And as you exhale, hands to your hips. Bend through your front knee, lift your back heel, and lower your back knee. Good, low lunge, hands frame your front foot. And send your right leg behind you long. Toes can start to the earth. Modified side plank, left toes kick out like a kickstand. Arch of your right foot down and reach your right arm high. Good, you can stay right here. For a little more challenge, lift your right leg. Bend both your knee and your elbow and start to trace circles in space, elbow circles and knee circles with the right limbs. Good, find drishti, keep gaze focused. One more circle, and then both knees and hands meet the mat, square your feet, child's pose or down dog, your choice. 5 full breaths here. Feel free to explore creative movement or just rest in stillness. Nice forward fold at the back of your mat. Full breath in and out. And then root to rise your way this time. Come all the way to stand, strong core. As you exhale, hands by your side. Take a few breaths, feel your feet. Warrior one, left foot steps forward, back heel down. Bend through your front knee and we'll find that same pose. Palms touch out in front of you. Chin is fully stable, parallel with the earth. Lift your gaze and your thumbs as high as they'll go. Good, I'll drop my back knee just to show you. Always an option if this feels like too much. Keep gaze on your right thumb, open the right hand out, keep your head still. Keep the gaze on your right thumb as you draw back to center. Switch to the left thumb, open out to the left, hold the head still. Good, come back to center. Twice more on each side, like a little gentle moving meditation. Especially now when we're using our computers and our phones a lot, our gaze is really fixed down. So this is helping to train some of those nerves and muscles that extend all the way through our body and make us more efficient in balance. Those muscles that aren't getting used as much right now. Even out both sides, hands to center, hands to your hips. Good, come on to the ball of your back foot, lower your back knee with control. Hands frame your front foot. And tabletop pose, extend left leg back. Modified side plank, right toes out like a kickstand. Arch of your left foot down and reach left arm high. Shrug shoulders away, draw your chin in, find drishti for stability. Stay right here if you'd like. Option to lift the top leg, bend knee and top elbow and make circles in space. Good, 2 more circles, last big effort. And then gaze down, hands down, knees down, widen your knees, child's pose. Good, we'll stay here for a little bit. If you need cushioning under knees, slide that blanket underneath. Coming back to that breath in the upper chest, upper back. Breath in the ribs, side to side, front to back. And breath in your belly and your lower back. Good, from our child's pose, we'll find thread the needle. So coming up slightly, walking your hands just a little closer towards you, but still in front of your shoulders. We'll choose our left arm first and keep your eyes on your left hand and send it up toward the ceiling. We'll do a few pulses here before we dive through. Keep your eyes on your hand and dive it underneath your right arm. Don't go all the way into your pose yet. Keep your gaze on left hand, reach it up. Keep gaze on left hand, dive it under. One more round, inhaling up. Exhaling to dive through, and this time extend that arm all the way through, lay down on left shoulder, and rest your head, your temple. Gently press into the back of your left hand and arm. And create more space between the earlobes and the tops of your shoulders. Find breath across the back body. And with a strong core and pressing right hand down, start to reverse course. Lift that arm up once again to the ceiling. Keep your gaze there. And left hand to the earth. We'll switch sides. So actively pulsing to start. Right arm reaches. Keep your gaze on your hand. And then dive it under, gaze at your hand. 2 more times. And when you're ready, thread the needle on this side, relaxing the upper body. Once you're there, start to create just a little bit of effort in the right hand, pressing down, shoulders rolling back. Release tension in your jaw. Let the breath be full, complete. And come all the way back to center. Lifting that arm up. Both hands to the mat. Slide your hips to one side of your feet and swing them forward. Good. Give your legs a little shake. We'll find some movements from seated, flexing and pointing your feet, circling your toes, switching directions. And bring your right foot on top of your left thigh. Good, once you're there, grab your knee with both hands and kind of give it a little massage, kind of like you're scrubbing your knee. Imagine you're in the shower and we're scrubbing your knee on all sides. Did a lot of stuff on our knees today. And then start to squeeze your calf and shin all the way down to your ankle. Do that a few times. And then when you get to your ankle, it can feel nice to kind of create a wringing action. So hands move in opposite directions, kind of like you're wringing out a rag. And then grabbing your foot, just give your foot a squeeze everywhere on the toes. Maybe each individual toe gets a little squeeze. Ball of the foot, arch of the foot. You might walk the thumbs up and down. Whatever feels good, just explore. Pinching the outer foot, pinching your heel. And then bring your hands behind you and flex your right foot and bring your left foot to the earth. Start to bend that left knee. Good, we're looking for a figure 4 stretch. So whenever you feel sensation in this outer hip that's bent, that feels good, pause there. Roll your shoulders down, lift your chest. And then we'll move a little bit. So sending knees from side to side in a twist, like windshield wiper in figure 4. Good, and come back to center, left foot on the earth, and powerfully press your right shin into your left thigh. Feel that that hip really has to work. And then extend your bottom leg, but keep your right leg hovering. You might even place a hand to the front of your right shin and press into it, resist. Good. Once again, bend your bottom leg. Press your right ankle into your thigh. Extend your bottom leg, keep your right foot hovering, maybe even create resistance, hand to ankle, press and resist. One more time. Bend bottom knee, press into thigh. Extend bottom leg, keep that foot hovering, lift it as high as you can, maybe create resistance, gently press. Good, extend both legs, shake them out. The opposite side, left foot draws in, crosses the thigh, and give your knee a massage. Walk that massage down your shin and calf. And try and get every corner, every side. Come to your ankle, give it a squeeze, maybe find that wringing action. Could go both directions. And squeeze around different parts of your foot, your toes, getting the arch, the center, squeezing the outer foot and heel. And then hands behind you, flex both feet, bend your bottom knee and find your figure 4 stretch. Shoulders down, chest is high. Take a breath. Good, windshield wiper, knees, feet, side to side. And come back to center. We'll create active resistance in both directions here. So first pushing away, pushing left leg into right thigh. Good, extend your bottom leg. Keep your left foot lifted, resisting that lowering. Maybe press your hand into your ankle and push. Twice more. Bend your bottom knee, press into thigh. Extend bottom leg, lift that foot as high as you can and push with your hand. One more time, your pace. Extend both legs, shake them out, and come all the way onto your back. Good, any little movement, maybe rolling out wrists, maybe rolling out wrists high overhead in your great stretch. Stretching through right fingers, right toes, switching sides. Coming all the way down. And any final movements that you need to round out your practice, any twisting side to side. We've got about a minute of time here to explore. Any last sighing breaths, fluttering through the lips on an exhale. Sending your jaw side to side. Start to wind down into full rest. Do just a short visualization with the breath practice here. As you find your stillness, taking up space. Bring your awareness to the right side of your body. As if the left side has completely disappeared. Bring awareness to now the left side of your body. And allow the right side to disappear. And on this left side, notice the air as it comes in through left nostril. The air as it leaves the left nostril. We'll do a very simple, imaginary, alternate nostril. So we'll inhale through the left and exhale through the right. That's simple. Feeling your breath draw in through the left side, out through the right. In through left, out through right. We'll take 3 more rounds of this breath. And then release all efforts. Rest. Become aware of your feet. As your feet become your legs, melting into knees and thighs. And start to wiggle toes, turn ankles, as your awareness rises into hips and torso. Extending out into arms and fingers as you wiggle them, turn the wrists. Awareness into neck and jaw. Tracing the tongue around the fronts of your teeth. Top and bottom, switch directions. And find the great stretch, reach back. Exhale, knees to chest. Gently rocking side to side to wake up the spine. Take all the time you need to roll to one side and find your seat. Finding Buddha Mudra, one hand on the chest, one hand on the earth next to you. Feeling your intrinsic connection to all cycles of nature. Thanking yourself for showing up for your own practice and for others who have shared this space with you virtually. I thank each of you for being here. Namaste.